I think you need to unmute yourself too, darling. No, it's not coming out. I think you need to unmute yourself too, darling. No. Unmute yourself too, darling. That's weird, but you're not coming out. No. That's weird, but you're not coming out. No. How the hey? Oh. That's weird, but you're not coming out. No. How the hey? Oh, what? I'm not sure actually now. Oh, echo. I'm echoing, I think. I'm not sure actually now. Yeah, they can hear me. Yes. I can hear you, but they can't hear you. Good evening, everybody. This is the Vobes show. We've got the one-eyed, boldy one over there. They can't hear you. Good evening, everybody. Just trying to sort out the boldy one over there. Sorry, I've got that. Yeah, there we go. Muted that now. That's where the echo was. Sorry about that. What a start! Can we hear him yet? Right. I can tell everybody. Right, so Windows is doing a quick update for some reason, and it's, yeah, mucked something up. But I could do a roll call. Yeah, let's do the roll call. Roll call. Roll call. Oh, I can take my time today, can I? That's very kind of you. So we have the lovely Andy Stacey, the lovely Paul Cockerell, the lovely Station Master Choice. Hi, Bernie. The lovely Hammer and Spanner Man 1, the lovely Elijah Hartley. Hello, darling. Love you. We have lovely Bonnie H, the lovely Mark Burgess, the lovely Tool Podge Rog, the lovely Ham Hing. Hi. The lovely Rasputin of Artington, the lovely Colonel Craig Ratty, the lovely Kerry Baldwin, the lovely Judith. Mwah. We have the lovely Steve Baker. The lovely, have I said Tool Podge Rog? Well, I'm saying you again, the lovely Tool Podge Rog. And a third time, there you go. We also have the lovely Glyn Horton. We have the lovely Daniel Watkins, the lovely Zom Coco, the lovely new names here on this list. I'm going through the chat there so I can try and catch as many as possible. Have we got anyone else? Oh, the lovely Ramaboo too, the lovely Jen Coley, or Collie. Is it Collie or Coley? Is it number 1 Collie or number 2 Coley? We have the lovely Ollie the Squid. Can you hear him yet? Right. We have the lovely early blah, 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 blah. Somebody's talking to you. Have you answered the phone by mistake? Oh. Don't know. Now I don't know. I can't hear anything. No, I cannot. We have Nigel Sadler on the phone, and he says, I know, that's why I'm trying not to leave too much air. Okay. Yep, Nigel Sadler's on the phone, and he says, Microsoft, in its great big update, has rerouted a lot of audio devices to different places, which means that he is bleeped. The show is me now. Well, we still have the lovely Stephen Agger, the lovely John Clark, the lovely Brainwashed Chris, the lovely Andrew Norris too, the lovely Nick Gurr, the lovely Sensible Paul, the lovely Maggie Samuels, the lovely Kate Evans, the lovely Michael White, the lovely Jonathan Fox, the lovely Mark Donny McLeod, the lovely, is there any other names? Oh, and it's Jen Collie, like the dog, the lovely Skilt, the lovely Robert Brailsford, and I wonder, oh, there's the lovely G Ramps, the lovely Ian Dance, the lovely Peter May, and the lovely Anna Jones, and I'm really sorry if I have missed it. Oh, the lovely Rick M, and I'm sure Ron Langley's out there. He's usually out there. So let's get an update from Richard. Okay. Sorry about that. If I, oh, so sorry, guys. Right. Okay. So I don't know if I've missed anyone, but I need a glug of tea at the moment. This is a bit stressful. I hope you like my mug. I've got a lovely Pegasus mug here. Sorry, a Pegasus and unicorn, which in the My Little Pony world is an alicorn. Very weird. So, apparently my volume's gone down. Can you all hear me okay? Looks like it will be the Julia show tonight, says Colonel Crugratty. Looks like I'm running the show tonight, says Rasputin of Artington. Yes. Am I still echoing? Ron Langley says, sounds funny with the echo. Echo. It's your chance to do a 2-hour show about trees. Go for it. I've got no trees here to talk about, sadly. I can't even put any photos up, but I will actually show off this lovely, lovely stone that one of the viewers painted for me a while back. I know I've shown it off before, but I love it. I sometimes hold it for comfort. Let's put it that way. Try and get the best image of it. By the lovely Elaine Brazier. It's beautiful. I am fully intending to paint a stone for her. I'm not going to tell what it is. It's my secret. Any other comments? Who knew Julia was a professional hacker? Yes, thank you, Peter May. I've hacked the system and I'm having my way with you all. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good, does it? I have some pics to send you next week, Julia. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing them. Mark Burgess. I didn't mention the lovely Elijah, didn't I? I'm sure I didn't mention the lovely Elijah Hartley because I blew him a kiss and said, I love you, darling. Well, I've said it again now. That's my son, if anyone didn't know that. Robert Brailsford says, Julia, get Richard to drive to Lancing. You better get pedaling, Richard, because I doubt you want to get the van out down that alley in this dark hour. Let's talk about horses, says Bonnie H. Yes, let's. I love horses. Obviously, people know I love horses, I'm sure. Yes, ponies are from 14 hands and below. Horses are 14 hands high and above. Hands high was a measurement like that, obviously, from there to there. That's approximately what, 7-8 inches? I'm not sure officially what it is. Is that you trying to talk to me, Richard? Can anybody hear Richard? Sorry. Right. Clive Waterfall says, so Julia, what do you really think about Richard? Well, what do I really think about Richard? I actually adore Richard, you know. I mean, I really admire his work ethic, his get up and go. I mean, his absolute energy. It is lovely. And he's bashful at the minute. He's losing his concentration. Elijah Hart says, oh, then how did I miss you saying my name? How odd. I don't know, darling, but you did. That's because you don't listen to me, is it? What's your review regarding horse racing, Julia? Says Andrew Graham. Well, it's a funny one because obviously it's quite a long tradition that's been going on for several hundred years, 600 years or more. I can't remember exactly. Someone will probably know and tell me. But half a hand is 2 inches. Okay. Anyway, racing. It's funny because I have a personal connection to it only because my grandmother, my dad's mum, when I used to go and stay there in Portsmouth with her and my granddad.
1, 2. Wait a minute.
She used to watch the racing.
Wait a minute.
Weekends and well, actually, talking about
Hello,
songs,
1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now?
She'd pick her horses from the. Can anyone hear him yet?
You're through.
I'm back through.
You're through.
You're back through, are you? Excellent.
Yes.
I don't really like.
Did people hear the music?
Because of the. Yes, they're hearing you.
Are they hearing Nigel Sadler?
I can.
Can you hear Nigel Sadler? I can't.
Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I should have left Julia doing it for a little bit longer, really.
So no, I don't really like horse racing because at the moment there seems to be far too many horse deaths, unfortunately. Flat is not so bad, but so the hurdles is the worst one. Yes, darling. Oh no, I don't want the bubbles at the moment, thank you.
It's all going swimmingly.
Oh, no.
So can I just interrupt you for a moment, Julia?
Yes, please
Can
do.
I just interrupt you? Whilst we have Nigel Sadler on the line, just so that we can explain to the lovely viewers who may be slightly confused and thought, hang on a minute, and they may be disappointed now that I'm back because they were enjoying the Julia show, and I'm sure that is the case, and we'll let Julia carry on in a second.
Do you know what? I had to laugh actually, Richard, because the other day on the latest video we did, the Lark in Pycombe, someone actually said, you know, I'm not a fan of Julia. I laughed.
Oh, good.
It must show that my thin is skinning. My
Your
skin
thin is getting a bit skinnier. Thickening. Anyway, Nigel.
Hello.
Saviour of the
hello.
moment. I had no idea that my audio was not going out, and of course, obviously, the audience did, and they did mention it.
I thought you were miming at first because you have done that before, haven't you?
Yes, but you were ringing in before the show started.
No.
Oh.
The show had started. You were about a minute in, and Julia was on saying nobody can hear you. You're on mute.
Okay,
At this point, I thought,
somebody was ringing me just before the show started, and I kept ditching the call because I was just about to go on. And then it kept going. I thought either it's a scammer or something. And so when your name doesn't come up because the phone doesn't know who you are. And so I was trying to ditch your call. I thought I ditched you. And then I kept hearing this very faint voice going, Richard, can you hear me? Richard, can you hear me? It's like, what the hell's that? Where's that coming from? Then I could hear you because nobody could hear me or you. They could only hear you. And Julia's sitting there hearing all of it, but thinking, wait, hang on, who can hear what?
Yeah.
But Julia, you did that very well. Thank you very much for covering.
it was brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going to go and make a cup of tea and leave it with you for the next hour.
Oh,
I think so.
Nice.
So
lie down.
Yeah, Nigel, just explain what you explained to me, what had happened at your works.
Twice in the last week, once very embarrassingly and very, very publicly on last Saturday, and to a much smaller extent today, a studio rather more sophisticated than yours, which we use for broadcasting on, well, we use the Microsoft Teams platform for broadcast purposes. And our rather sophisticated studio, for some reason, the software decided to look for a completely different map on the sound. So the desk normally outputs into the stream that we're broadcasting on, and it could be Zoom, it could be Teams, it could be our own system or YouTube, and away it goes. But bizarrely, we were broadcasting exactly like you without any sound, and nobody could figure why that was. And we had to abandon the thing, and it was with the headmaster, and it was to the general public, so it was terribly embarrassing. And we discovered that the sound source it was looking for and not getting anything from was from a television set. Now, that was connected to the stream and actually displaying the pictures on. That's our big monitor, if you like, the equivalent of what you've got behind your camera.
Yeah.
It's our big program monitor. And it was listening to that. And, of course, there was no sound coming from the television, so it was just putting no sound out of the program. Now, this has been used for about 200 times. It's never done it before, and it just did it on that one occasion. Yeah, something like that.
And was that because of was that Windows update that did it?
Well, it might have been. We know now what happened. We have no idea why.
Okay.
And it did again the same today.
Just before, about an hour before the show started, I had this Windows thing saying, "Oh, it's time to update and what have you," and it'd been nagging me for a while. I thought, "Oh, I've got an hour," and you know what Windows is like; it's continually saying, "Oh, just that," and it'll do. And usually, it's very brief. So I thought, "Oh, I don't do that on." This took about 20, 25 minutes, and I was thinking, "Oh my God, I need to set the show up, and hurry up, we've got these updates." And of course, everything was finding the device again because it was a major reworking of Windows, and it kept saying, "How we're, finding this device, yes, it's working. This device, yes, that's working." So I'm now presuming that in its finding of these devices, it's gone to set some defaults, and I discovered, whilst Julia was talking and you were advising me, that actually I forget now, but it was actually in OBS. The audio was coming into OBS, but it was going no further, and it was in OBS that I had to rejig it, and I suddenly found it had been set to default, and its default was not one that sent it out to the lovely audience. So
that was exactly what happened, and what the cause was. It resets it, but now you know that, and it happens again. You know where to look. Like we now know where to look to go. We've got 20 or more different inputs on our system or outputs on our system, so it takes a bit longer.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's handy having a system that is actually quite primitive.
Yes.
Because there are fewer things to go wrong.
Yes.
But anyway,
and it will go wrong when it wants to.
Yes, absolutely. There's the lovely Julia immersed in bubbles. Look,
and sound is so, though as you and I know, is incredibly important. It's actually not so obvious when it's not there.
No,
when you're doing this sort of thing.
Absolutely.
You see the pictures up there.
Yes, I mean
you can't necessarily hear the sound isn't there because
if the picture freezes, you can still continue because people can hear the conversation. It's the conversation that's what's being carried.
Yes.
That's keeping it going. And without the conversation, you have just nothing. Then that's when you're going to lose your audience because they're going to go, "Well, I can't sit through this."
Yes, as we did. I found out terribly embarrassing last Saturday.
Oh dear. Well, that does sound... Well, anyway, it just shows it's live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's always nice having a crisis. After all,
we've
got 2 videos and 1 photo. So we've managed to fill half the show without getting into any to the small amount of content that we have. So it's added to the bonus, and we've had a caller in already.
Great. 18 minutes past 8. Let's get on with the show.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. That's Nigel Sadler. Take care, Nigel. Bye-bye. Thanks for your help.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. That's
Bye, Nigel.
He's disappeared off the face. So there we are. A bit of a crisis, ladies and gentlemen. So, Julia, how were you holding the fort? Because I wasn't really listening to anything you said because I was desperately trying to listen to Nigel, who was in my ear at the same time as you. And it's funny how the brain has to go, because you could hear us as well, presumably.
Yes.
And so
I was trying to switch you off and focus. Very hard.
But so what were you gabbling on about? You were talking about horses or something?
Yes, because I'd been asked a question about horse racing and what my thoughts were on it. I was starting to tell a story that my dad's mum, my grandmother, she used to watch the races. She loves horses, or loved, but she never had one. I don't think she'd ever even ridden, but she absolutely adored them. She had loads of scrapbooks filled with clippings from newspapers and magazines of horses and everything. But she used to watch the races, and she used to bet on them as well, 20p each way sort of thing, just small little thing, just for the fun of it. So she would let me choose a horse, and I'd preferred to watch them in the ring.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the betting shop was a betting shop just 2 minutes down the road. So she'd come on, have a look, pick your horse, come on. So I'd pick my horse, and she'd totter off down, put some money on it, and I won a few times. But so that's just that bond with my nan there that we had that thing. But apart from that, I am aware that, well, obviously I didn't know then how dangerous it could be, especially the hurdles for the horses. So and it has only gotten more and more competitive, I think. But hopefully things are changing for the better. Oh, is it bad luck to cross more than one pair of fingers?
I don't know.
I can't remember. all sorts of different. But,
all sorts of different superstitions that people have, like walking under a ladder and having paint drop on your head. And,
yes, and having a black cat walk in front of you. Some say it's good luck, some say it's bad.
Having
I hope it's good.
Having a black tarantula in your bed, I believe that's not so good. Or a rhinoceros at full charge in front of you when there's nowhere else to run. Probably not good.
Not so good.
These are all superstitions that I adhere to, evidently. Bonnie H says, we're talking about you, Richard. Oh, what are you saying about me? Julia, yes, you were asked your opinion, and all because I was so busy listening to Nigel, but all I heard you saying was he is a horrible swine, and
you're a miserable old man.
Yes, a miserable old man.
Wait, I said bold.
Oh, bold, I beg your pardon. Miserable bold man who does a miserable podcast in the mornings. But enough about that, I should think. Jeffrey Harrison said, whatever happens, just go back to Julia. Yeah, well, this is it. This is why Julia is essential to the show, because when I can't cope, I just go, oh, God, Julia.
And then I go, what is everyone saying? Peter May says, any animal sport that includes a whip to make them go faster is a no-go for me. I got into trouble last year at work for saying so whilst it was on the TV, how I hated it. Typical.
Got into trouble for stating the obvious. I mean, hitting an animal in order to make it do things more surely can't be good.
Yeah. I mean, if I ever was to be lucky enough and honoured to own a horse or pony, I would rather switch it if it was already, using bit bridles and stuff like that. I'd try to train it to not have a bit. I'm doing this as if you just have the noseband and there's no bit there, and the reins just attached to the as normal, but there's no bit in the mouth. The bit can it hurts the tongue, especially some of the really extravagant ones. They put lots of pressure on the tongue and the roof of the mouth, and those are very delicate parts of anyone.
I don't quite understand why do they stick a great big lump of metal, presumably it's metal, in the horse's mouth? I mean, I wouldn't want it. You probably wouldn't want it.
No, because a horse is big and strong, and that's how we've tried to what's the word? I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible, overpower them and make them do what we wanted instead of try to train them. Because I mean, it's quite rare that you can have a really good bond between rider and horse that you can.
So the bit in the mouth, is that something that you tug on?
Yes. Just a plain bit usually has two sections that attach either side to the reins, and there's a chain link in the middle. That's a simple one that can hurt enough, but then you get like panels on it that jut out. So if you pull on the reins, you're pulling either on the roof of the mouth or the tongue, depending on where the horse's head is and how you're pulling on it.
Right.
And then there's other ones that they drop down from the mouth, and it just puts even more pressure on said parts.
It seems incredibly cruel, because it's an unnecessary thing, presumably.
It is, I mean,
I can understand.
As humans, we've done an awful lot of things in the past that we probably shouldn't have.
Yes.
So,
no,
I can about learning and
I can understand
forward.
that you need some form of communication system with the horse, like
But you can achieve that without these things. I mean, plenty of people have learnt to ride bitless and even bareback. There's proper bareback saddles that still provide some support for the horse and the rider, but don't restrict and don't hurt the horse as much.
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to hurt the animal that is aiding you by letting you ride on its back, and B, if it's pulling something or doing some work or whatever, why would you want to put that animal into misery when you've you surely, like most things, if you are kind to something, it's more like praise its ego, and you're going to get people to do stuff for you.
Yes, you'll definitely always get a better result when the horse wants to do what you're asking of it. It's better to be able to ask the horse, but like I say, it's not often that you can build such a good bond and communication network with the horse.
But Bonnie says it's like driving. Bonnie says it's like driving without brakes.
Yes, I mean, I'm not as experienced a rider as I would have liked to have been at this point in my life. So so on balance, there are plenty of riders that are really good and that don't abuse these aids that we've been using for thousands of years.
Right.
So I don't want to badmouth everyone that uses bits and
no, I mean, I know nothing about it, so on the face of it, sticking something in an animal's mouth and pulling on it just seems logically to me just seems not very nice. It's like the chokers they put on dogs. I think, oh my God, why would you put that on a dog?
Especially the ones with spikes that go inwards into the dog, because you pull on it and it digs into the dog's neck. It's horrible.
Just
horrible.
seems. I mean, if you're going to do that, don't have a dog. If that's the only way you can control the animal, don't have one.
Yeah. But like I say, a lot of horse, tack we call it, the bridles and the saddles and all the other straps and reins and things. I've never ridden, say, a stallion, and they can be very high energy and hard to keep their focus on the task at hand. So I can understand how a little bit of a nudge, here and there for a little bit of pressure to make them go, oh, I've got to listen, pay attention rather. So yeah, I mean, like I say,
Yes, I mean, I can understand that you need to, as I said before, have some form of communication system, and if that's it, it's gentle tugs, and it's not uncomfortable for the animal. I can understand, and if they're okay with that, and they go, oh, this is a tug, this means turn left, or this means slow down, this means that's fine. It's when it's taken, if you pull on that rein too harsh, then I guess it would be inexperienced riders that would do it. That if you pull on it too hard and that hurts the animal just may go, do you know what? Vroomf, you're off, mate. Presumably the pair of you have got to have respect for each other, because the animal, if it's not trusting you or thinks that you're being mean to it, it could just throw you off and trample you.
Yeah, and often, it can get to that point if a horse has less than brilliant riders. Well, okay, stop beating around the bush. If the horse gets abused too much, that will happen to it, and there's this great YouTuber. He could be a bit controversial sometimes. His name's Rick Gore. He does Think Like a Horse channel on YouTube. That he's kind of against bits and stuff, because too many people abuse them, not on purpose. It's just through ignorance and through determination to make the horse do what they want to. But I've forgotten what I was going to say, but I like.
He's got a good chat. I mean, I remember I think it was the same bloke. You showed me a video in which the owner or something was mucking about too much, and the horse backfired and it kicked him and killed him.
That's what I was going to say. What Rick Gore says is, it's all too often it's people say, oh, stupid horse, or that it's the horse that's done wrong, and actually it's stupid people, because we haven't read and understood the situation properly. And ended up the horse has reacted eventually, and we go, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. But like I say, I haven't had as much experience with horses as I would like to have. So, I could be living in Cloud La La Land, but... No,
not Cloud La La Land. It's close, but it's Lancing. Now, we've got a happy birthday to say to Nick. Yes. How the hell do you pronounce your surname? Gurr. Is it Gurr? Nick.
Are we both wrong?
Or is it Jur or something? Happy birthday. 56 today.
Happy birthday!
56. Blimey, I look forward to the day when I'm 56. It'll be in about 10, 20 years' time, I think. A long way to go before I even reach my 50s. So that would be good. Wouldn't it be great to have horse transport again, says Bonnie H.
Absolutely.
Well, it would be, as long as the horses are happy with it. That's the thing. Andrew Norris says, what happens when you don't get... That's what happens when you don't respect animals. Absolutely.
I mean, it's the same with people. If you abuse or push a person too far, they will snap and break and retaliate. So
yes, exactly. Brilliant. Okay, well, I think we should show a video now. Having got the show underway, we have a video, two videos. One from Stephen Agger, who's climbing up to the top of Mount Snowdon, in very misty weather. We're going to save that for a little bit later. And Bernie is also out on the mists. He's got a morning mist. So I thought we'd start with the morning and then work our way up to the summit here. And in between, Robin Jones has got 3 insects for us to inspect. So first of all, we'll nip into the video box. Did anybody hear that sound? I've got a feeling that nobody heard it. You may have done, but I didn't hear it. And I hope you can hear Bernie. You'll have to tell me if you can hear Bernie. There is a pause at the beginning of this one, by the way. I know that much because I looked it through. A pause in sound, I mean. Quite a long pause.
This is a nature reserve, or part of it's a nature reserve, and you do get a lot of visiting ducks and also swans, geese, that kind of thing. And good morning, sheep. I hope you're all well. That's no place to go to the toilet while I'm filming. Oh dear. They got no airs and graces, these sheep. Actually, at the moment, they got no airs at all. They've just been shorn. But there you go. They're all very peaceful in the early morning mist. But I just wanted to stop briefly to show you the kind of terrain that I'm driving over. I think I might actually invest in a dash cam one day, and then I can do some filming perhaps while I'm driving. It's too dangerous to do it obviously holding a camera. But I just wanted to show you here how the drainage ditches. There's the Rickney sewer on that side. Oh, there's a shot for you. This is what makes it worth coming out here at this time of the morning. And again, you see the mist rising with the drainage ditch on the other side. And for the next couple of miles, I am going to be driving with these ditches either side. I wouldn't want to come here in the dark. Good morning. Good morning, how are you? Very well, thank you. Just chewing the cud, chewing the cud. Looks very serene, doesn't he? Or she. I'd say she. Very serene in the early morning. But we're actually at the bottom of what was Horseye, the island in the middle of Pevensey Bay. If you follow that track along there through White Dyke, it actually comes end on with the road that eventually goes into Howsham past the caravan park. But we'll stand here at White Dyke because I'm hoping that at least through the mist you can see the land rises quite noticeably here. As you go up the hill, you can see it at the top there. Apart from North Eye, this is probably the only island that you can see clearly was an island. In pre-Roman times, this was an area of salt extraction, and you take an awful lot of salt from here. And these 4 islands were just rocky outcrops in the bay. Peaceful enough today, dog barking in the distance.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Very lovely video there. I couldn't hear a word of it. That's why I was slightly worried that you guys could... I couldn't hear it. Could you hear it, Julia?
I could, but because I watched it on my other screen, I mute this and unmute that.
Oh, okay. So I just...
So I get delay.
I just want to experiment here. Let's have a look. Output. Is that the output? No, well, I want audio.
Which is why sometimes when you come back from the video, I'm there going, because I'm still watching.
Yeah, sorry, hang on. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, I am phoning from Microsoft.
Oh, yes. Very nice
You need
of
to
you.
give me your credit card detail.
Well, what would you like? The long number or the short number?
Short number.
The card number is F *** OFF.
We will transfer the money tomorrow.
Yeah, transfer the money to me. Have I won? Are you some Indian, who's won £1 million and needs to...
Indian Bombay, I got it.
Yes. You better not reveal who you are now, Sean, because otherwise people will start making out that they'll be for you, you know.
Oh, yes.
People are guessing. They're saying, is it Sean or is it Ed? It's obviously Sean James Cameron from London.
Sean from London. I used to know somebody, and he always used to introduce himself that he was from India, Bombay.
Nice. India, Bombay.
But that wasn't... in fact, I've just tuned in the last 10 minutes, so I've just watched the first half an hour on double speed.
Oh, nice. It's better on double speed. Although the lovely Julia was doing amazingly well.
So it was quite funny to see the incidents that you had. But
Thank you for saying so. By the way, I cannot hear Sean.
Oh, Julia can't hear you.
Oh, well, I actually just waved at the screen then to her.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I can't hear the videos. I can hear Sean. Hang on, I'm going to just do another experiment now whilst we're live on here.
Well, I'll just...
No, just stay there for a second. What do I want to do? I want to go into audio. Where's the audio? Right, okay. Monitoring device. I'm on speakers, Realtek high definition audio. Let's try something else. Can you say a few words? Oh,
say a few words.
Oh, for a minute then I couldn't hear you. Let me try that one. Say, hang on a minute. There's no point me doing that because I have to...
It is spring, moonless night in the small town, starless and black and Bible black.
If you hear him, Julia, just tell me.
Will do. The audience can hear him. But...
Yeah, the audience can hear him. That's why I'm trying to find the monitoring thing.
I mean, I can hear him if I mute this and then unmute that.
Yeah, but
then it's delayed.
It's delayed. Okay, so it's not there.
Starless and Bible black. The cobble street silence and the hunch coaches and rabbits would limp invisible down.
Was in Wales.
Slow black, crow black, fishing boat bobbing sea. The houses are black as moles. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's more than enough. That was lovely. It was lovely, but I have no idea why Julia can't hear you, which is very irritating now because this is the job for the weekend now, isn't it?
Maybe if she unmutes her picture.
If she unmutes her picture?
If she unmutes her screen, maybe she can hear it that way.
You're not muted, are you, Julia?
What do you mean?
Oh, hang on. This video is playing. What have I done? I've done something to your... Oh, I see it's down there.
You know, as if she was watching the show like everybody else.
Yes.
And she would hear it through that way.
Yeah,
so she just put the YouTube page up as if she was just coming onto the show without being,
Yes, you can do that, but because there's the delay, so you could ask her a question and she wouldn't be able to hear it.
Yeah.
No, we've for some reason everything has been reset here, so I've got to work out. So Julia and I will probably have to have an experiment over the weekend to try and get this all back together. So Monday, thank God it's Friday.
In fact, somebody on the allotment told me today that he has updated his Windows and now he can't get access to all his pictures.
Oh right, well there you are. It just goes to show that there is something weird on that update.
But I called him with a discussion point.
Oh right, a discussion point. Yeah, we're open to discussion points.
I went to the allotment today, and my phone only had about 3%. So
I went to the allotment today. My phone only had 3%. I'm sorry, I'm just relaying this to Julia.
So I left my phone in the house.
I left my phone in the house.
So I had a day without my phone.
I had a day without my phone.
And I came back expecting to see a load of important messages, and there was nothing there.
I missed that because I could hear myself coming back then over the speaker.
What?
No idea what was going on. So what was the last sentence?
I came home expecting to see a load of messages.
Yes, there was nothing.
And there was nothing there.
I came home expecting there was going to be a load of messages, but there was nothing there.
And it just goes to show how much we just check our phones every couple of minutes. When
it just
there's no
goes
point.
to show how we go and check our phones every couple of minutes, and we're very stupid.
This is like a sketch for
This is a
two
sketch.
Ronnie.
It is a sketch for the two.
Don't worry about repeating what he says. I'm just going to listen on there.
Oh, right, fair enough. So anyway, so that was another hilarious moment. Then we check our phones. So this was the discussion point: is how much do we check our phones? We're always expecting. Are we always expecting some message, notification? And if we don't get anything, I mean, that's an interesting question actually to put to the audience. If you're out there, how often do you check your phone? And if you have a day when there's no things coming in, do you get a bit antsy? Is that a word? Do you get a bit antsy, itchy? Do you get like what's the word I'm looking for, Sean?
Anxious.
Anxious. Are you anxious by not having notifications?
Because when I've got my phone with me, I check the news every few minutes.
Every few minutes you check the news?
Well, if I want a distraction from my bit of gardening, I'll sort of go, let's just check the news.
Just see if there's a volcano. Is there no volcano, damn it.
I
check it again.
Twitter.
Is there a volcano? No.
Posted a picture on Instagram.
Gosh.
And it just shows how much time we just waste.
We do. I mean, we absolutely do. I'm trying now more and more not to. I very rarely check. People probably notice. I very rarely check my Facebook and my emails. I now only check really. I don't have time. That's the thing. I have enough time on the screen, and I'm doing comments and emails and all of this. And in the end, I just started to go. Do you know what? I should do emails and comments first thing in the morning. Then I go out and make my videos. Then I come back and I like the thing. The essay. I do a bit of reading because I want to catch up and learn some stuff. And my phone does not tell me if an email has come in. I mean, I have to manually look. I've turned the notifications off because there's so much spam and this, that, and the other. So I don't bother. What's that? Not it. Now, annoyingly, I've got this app that's supposed to manage Facebook, and it tells me so and so's left a comment on your. Have you gone? You still there? He's gone. That's nice. On my phone, so there's this thing that manages Facebook. There we go. He's back again.
Back once again with the Renegade Master.
Hello.
I think you might be possessed tonight.
Yeah, we possessed you. Your phone call got ditched, didn't it? I didn't do it. So there's this manager, this Facebook manager, and because it does annoy me because it says, you've got so and so's left a message on the Board Explorer. So I think, okay, let's have a look. And what it does, it just goes to the page, but it doesn't go to where the person has left the message or the comment.
You've got to go to another.
And then you think, I have no idea now where it is. Where is it? Because I have a number of pages and things. It could be in the group, it could be the page, it could be my own personal page, or it could be the Naked Englishman, or any one of the places. And they just go, what's the point of that? What is the point?
With social media and with cameras as well. When a camera first came out, like 10 years ago, I bought a video camera. It did everything that I wanted.
Yes.
And it was as if the manufacturers suddenly thought, oh, bloody hell, this camera's too good for this price. Let's take features off. And then ever since then, cameras have gone downhill.
Yeah.
So now you can get a really good camera that keeps the picture still, but you can't get good sound. You can get good sound, but if you try and walk and talk, the camera's all over the shop.
That's it. The cripple hammers come out.
They're going backwards.
Well, they can't. I mean, when you've invented the wheel, you then have to sort of invent the square, don't you? And get everybody to have the square so you can say, oh, this is much better. And then when everyone's gone, but is it? Well, it's trendy. Everyone's doing it. Okay, we'll have the square. And then somebody will go, actually, we've got a wheel. Didn't we have that once before? Oh, but this has got rubber on it now. So it's so much better. And it is like, once you've invented everything, it's like with cameras and things, how many megapixels do you really need? How many gigabytes do you really need in there?
Well, Well, I did catch myself thinking the other week. Now, should I be thinking about 8K? And I'm thinking, well,
8K.
people don't even watch the 4K.
No, that's right. I don't make anything in 4K. You see all these people in their camera channels going, oh yeah, 4K this and 4K that. I say 4K off. Anyway, Sean.
One of the problems with 4K and gardening is
yes,
it can pick up so much detail. It picks up more detail than the naked eye will see. Therefore, it gives an unrealistic.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I know, and when it's too clear, I think that's it. You know, film has a certain mystique about it because it's not like looking in a window, and video's got to the point where you're actually now just looking out a window. It's just real life, and actually, you know, the quality of film is that it is this slightly different world because, you know. You're trying to make. This is when I go out and do my videos, and you'll see me walking through the forests, and then there'll be a close up of me looking at something or talking to camera, and then there's another shot in the distance, and he's coming over there, and the camels are going over the lovely sand dunes, and I'm walking about, and I've spent ages doing this. The last thing I actually want really is someone to go, oh, you must have put the camera over there and gone back again and come past. It's like, yes, I have done that. Of course I've done that. That's why I do it. But the point is you're supposed to lose yourself in it, not think, oh, he's put the camera on the other side of the river. Then he's had to canoe back again and then get in the canoe for the camera. And then he's had to come back and then put it. And it's like, don't think.
You've got to put the drone up.
Yeah, it's like, don't. Yes, and if you see a drone shot, they go, oh, it's a very nice drone shot. You must take the drone with you. Is it awful to carry a drone? No, don't think about that. Don't think about the production value. Lose yourself. The whole point of raising the production value is that you just don't think of the video production because you don't think of that when you don't.
When I watch a film or I watch a TV, the only time I get pulled out of the fantasy then
yes
is if I do see a boom.
Yes.
And then it completely pulls me out, and then I start thinking, you know, that must have been about 10 to 12, and his arms got tired, and he wants lunch.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you don't think of it when it's television and they've got cameras here, there, and you don't think, oh, look, they put a camera in there. Oh, they put a camera in the fridge, and you open the door and the camera is in. You don't think like that. But they'll think it on my... But oh, Richard, they're so clever. You had to climb up that hill first just to put the camera up, then go all the way down again, then walk up the hill. It drives me mad.
And there's a guy that you watch because you've mentioned him on your the Naked Englishman podcast.
Oh yes, that evil thing.
Quite a few people now are doing things in 4x3 in the old-fashioned way, and they don't care about.
They don't care, no, and that's true. Don't care. It isn't. I mean, the real thing is content is king, not how you do it, and that's okay to a degree. It's just if you're doing something for any length of time that's more than just a head and shoulders, like the person you're talking about, you want people just to be able to kick back and enjoy it without going, oh, I can't really see that very well. His face has gone fuzzy in those 625 lines.
But then people say to me that they like the videos that I do. When I put a camera up in the corner of the garden, I switch it on and I go and do my gardening. Sometimes I'll walk up to it and say, oh, it's getting a bit cold. I might go put the kettle on. They aren't interested in different shots. They just like the one shot up in the corner, and you know.
I know that's like your slow TV. I've seen some of your slow gardening.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking to myself, hurry up and grow something.
But to me, it's easy to shove up a video, but there's somebody in the States who's building his own cabin. Yeah. The videos are about an hour long, and he doesn't talk.
Who's got the time, though? Who's got the time to sit there and watch an hour long? Who's got the time? I mean, you did that in Fast Forward, wouldn't you? Then you start editing it yourself.
Yes.
Listen, I better go and read some comments out. Thank you for giving us a call. Lovely
Can she hear me now?
Yeah, no, nobody can hear. I haven't bothered to.
Can you hear me, Mother?
No, she's gone. She's gone off to sort the children out because she's on her own at the moment.
I'm going to be gone now. So
all right, take care. There we go. That's lovely. Sean James from I don't know where he is. London, originally from Swansea or somewhere. No, interesting points. Julia's just disappeared to look after the kids because she's at home. Hubby's at work, and there's two kids, and there's little Joe who's got used to sort of pulling wires out of the wrong places, 13 amp fuses and that sort of thing. So she's just gone out to put the fire out, I think. Robin Jones says, Bonnie, only got 20 emails a day. Now I get 20 a week. Oh. Leonard Smith says 8K has more pixels than the average human eye can distinguish. And I imagine that something like 8K is great if you're doing something that you're blowing up at 30 or 40 feet, like at cinema. But, you know, on a phone, for goodness sake, on a phone, the quality of the phones are so good, you could just shoot in 720p and it still looks good. You don't really need to do much more than that. And save your data storage size. But, of course, some people do put it on their television. 1080p is enough for me. The Cripple Hammer, says Dave Yved. Yes, absolutely, the Cripple Hammer. He knows where that comes from. And what else have we got? Ted Travels by Narrowboat says, I record sometimes in 4K for editing, but only upload at 1080. Yes, I mean, that's true. I think, like drone stuff, if you do drones, it's worth filming in 4K because you can crop it, because often you may not get the thing, or you could zoom in a bit. And some people, you see these dreadful interviews where they filmed people in 4K and they're putting it on a 1080p timeline so that they can crop in and come back. But the thing is that the mistake they make is it's exactly from the same camera angle, because it's actually the same camera that shot it, only it shot it in higher resolution, and then they're cutting into a lower resolution, even though it's the lower resolution that goes out. So they've got all this crop room, but you really want to have different angles on it. But please, 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 never, 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 never do this. And you see it all the time where you cut to a shot where someone is talking this way. Why do they do that? What, you've seen it in videos, haven't you? Where people, their main video is here and they've got a camera here and it cuts and you see them doing this, talking like that for no apparent reason. Now, in my opinion, the only reason you would cut to somebody talking who's talking to you, but they've cut so he's no longer talking to you, would be if you cut to that shot and you see either a person he's talking to or the camera, the other camera. Put the other camera in shot. They don't, though. You just get this cut of this bloke, or they put him in black and white. It's wrong. Have the camera that is talking to it, because you then, the audience, relate, oh, yes, he is talking to that camera. It cuts back to that camera. Then you go, oh, I can see. May not understand quite why it was necessary to cut away from him, but at least you can see where the hell he was talking to instead of just talking to a void. Off cameras anywhere. It's like, no, I'm here. Hello. Oh, I can tell you, it drives me bonkers. The lovely Julia is back, by the way. Let's have a look and see what other comments. People and their phones, that's what we were discussing. Let's get back onto that. Yes. Hang on, I can't hear you, lovely Julia. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm all right.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Yeah, I was just explaining you had to go off and rescue little Joe because he's got his fingers and thumbs into the 13 amp fuse there and set the house on fire.
Thankfully, that's not the case.
Oh,
it was a
that's
toxic napping.
A toxic nappy.
Wriggly child.
My
What
goodness.
is it with babies and toddlers? Why?
Yeah, but you did that very quick, I have to say. Toxic nappy and that speed. I mean, I know you've got a lot of practice in now.
Well, I had help, so.
Oh, right. Oh, well, that's handy. Kerry Baldwin says Facebook notifications have gone bonkers. I realised the other day notifications have gone for friends. I thought they had unfriended me.
Oh, yeah, that happens from time to time. Facebook decides who you get to see this, stuff from. Bizarre.
It is a bit bizarre. Red Moon Conjure says, no, I don't mind. I rarely get any notifications on my phone. Bonnie says, I adore my phone. Rasputin of Artington says, my phone is always in my pocket. I'd be lost without it. Now, you're somebody that puts your phone down and sometimes you forget where it is and, and sometimes you have to ask a friend to ring it.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. If my phone isn't on my person, then who knows where it is? It's either in the bathroom under the sink. We've got an under sink cupboard there, and sometimes it gets placed there. And of course, if I stand up and I can't see it anymore, unless I walk out the room and then I open the door again and look in.
Do you think we are too reliant on our phones?
Absolutely, but I say that, and I'm completely hooked. I mean, plug me in.
Yeah, I mean, I maybe it's a generation thing, but I mean, I am because I'm into technology to a degree, and obviously, you look around the studio and you've seen the technology that's sitting in the studio, and when it works, it's quite handy. But of course, I can't show you until I've. Oh, can you hear this? Oh, whoa. Oh, you're not supposed to hear that. Oh, I wonder if there's a bit of echo. Oh, look, you can see right up my nose. Nice. Do you want to... No, you didn't want to see any of that. Don't want to look at my teeth. Yeah, so you're not supposed to... That's not supposed to even be on. One. Funny game, isn't it? Yeah, so reliant on our phones. I'm into technology, but I was trying to say that I think it's a generational thing that I would like to not. I mean, the camera function is quite handy when you haven't got a camera, and it's fits. That's the word. Flits, slits, and no, not that one. Goes in your pocket. Sits, fits, and sits. I'm getting myself into. Anyway, it sits in your pocket quite handily, and so you can take a phone, so you can take a picture. I rarely make phone calls on it. It's the only thing that I receive phone calls on. So one has to take it around with you for that purpose. Text messages from one or two people who I keep in touch with, family. But it's that business about feeling I am now dependent on a piece of software or a little computer in my pocket where it's almost as if it's taken that resource away from myself. And I don't like that idea. I like to feel I can be independent of all of those things. Although it's not as easy to contact somebody if you've got to go to the post office and buy a stamp and write a letter and send it off and wait for them.
Yeah. There are many conveniences about having a phone. I mean, similarly with social media, there's there are a lot of pros. There is the fact that you can be more connected with some people, but then again, in other ways, it kind of distances you from people as well, because there's almost like a facade, because what you see on Facebook isn't reality.
No, it's the same as a corporate magazine, selling themselves. Corporate magazine shows you. Yeah, it doesn't. It's like the old classic Swan. You see the outside looking serene and whatever. You don't see the feet underneath the water.
Feet underwater, yeah, and the poop in the water.
And the poop. Sean Ford says you've had your wisdom teeth out. I don't think I have had my wisdom teeth out. I mean, they may have come out. I don't remember actually having them out, unless they were out when I was a small child. I can't remember what they did then. Sean James Cameron says Facebook currently sends me a notification. You haven't spoken to your cousin Betty for a while. Would you like to say hello? She's been dead for 10 years. That's nice, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
Does Facebook really do that?
Yeah, that maybe Facebook don't know. Nigel,
because often Facebook recognises when someone is deceased. Because it happened with my grandmother's.
But surely it's only if you tell them. How will they know?
I suppose there's keywords when people, post to their page, oh, it's so sad to have lost you and things like that. I don't know.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? If everybody said, oh, it's so sad Richard Vobes died. If lots of people said, oh, and then suddenly they went, oh, well, okay, we'll just close his account.
His account then.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that's clearly he doesn't need it. It's like, well, whatever. I mean, I rarely post anything other than the Bald Explorer stuff. I have posted 2 videos today, I think. Which did amuse me. But other than that, mostly I only use it for the Bald Explorer. I don't use Twitter. I don't really use Facebook. Instagram, I occasionally put Instagram pictures up. I'm not very good at following. I don't want to see everybody else's life. I'm a miserable swine. I just get to the point where... I like to be connected. I like to see what other people are doing. Although sometimes that's a disadvantage to me, because I'm a very negative person about myself, so I always, if I see someone else doing really well, I'll be pleased for them and I'll be really happy for them, but then I'll look internally and be like, I'm rubbish. I'm a rubbish person. No, wait a minute. You can't say that. You are the top guest presenter, and today you started off as the main presenter of the Vobes show. I mean, even Piers Morgan can't get to that accolade
at the moment.
Yeah. So I mean, if he came knocking on my door, I wouldn't have him. I'd much rather have you, the lovely Julia, and the audience would much rather have you.
That's because he doesn't have purple hair, isn't it?
It is nothing to do with the colour of his hair.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love doing. That's what I love about doing this show. It does give me a sense of purpose, a sense of value, actually.
Yeah, quite right. You're very, very valued. So don't think. But I know what you mean in terms of. I mean, I get the same. You know, you look at somebody, and of course, all they're doing on these Instagram and Facebook is going, "Hey, look at me. I'm very successful. Tell me I'm successful." They may not feel that, but that's the message that comes over. That, hey, look, I'm successful. I'm good. Or the other thing is that they do is they virtue signal and go, look, I've put this emoji on my thing, which now proves I've saved everybody. What was that? After the shooting in France of the cartoonists, and everybody did Je suis, whatever his name was. Je suis, I can't remember the blooming thing now. I'm Jackie, whatever it, Jackie. Charlie Hebdo. Was it Charlie Hebdo? Yeah, Je suis Charlie Hebdo. And everyone was like, so they've done that, so now, you know, there'll never be a piece of terrorism ever again. And it's like, yeah, really? That doesn't really do it. It's like, you know, same with the NHS. They stick a little sticker on there and go NHS, this, that, and the other. It's like, what? Now we don't have COVID because you put a thing on your emoji. It's like, oh, come on. There's more to it than just virtue signaling. But don't get me started on that because people will hate me.
Je suis Charlie.
Oh, yeah, Je suis Charlie. Je suis Charlie Brown. I wonder if Charlie Brown did one. Je suis Charlie.
Yeah. Incidentally, I used my phone to send you an email.
Oh, when? Just now?
Yes, a few minutes.
Well, I'm going to use my email account to have a look at it.
Excellent. What it is, you see,
yeah.
Has anybody heard of Pergamano?
Pergamano? Is it a TV program?
No.
Is it one of these Japanese animation? What's that called? Scanimate. What do they call that?
Oh,
with the
manga?
Big... Yeah,
anime?
Mango.
No, it's none of those things.
No, right, okay.
It could be Japanese. I'm not sure where it's from, but what it is you see,
yeah, is
because my mum does it. You see, she does it. She uses it for card making and making, you know, little bits of artwork. Here we have a lovely owl.
Oh, that's a nice owl.
Yeah, we've got we've got some little images at the top of there as well.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
Oh yeah, the kingfisher. I'm not sure what the white one is. Is it a dove?
I think it's a dove.
And,
or a very white seagull.
But essentially, it's they use little needles and little tools to emboss on this tracing paper type material, and they also do like they'll trace images. I say they, my mum and her little Pergamano class, and they'll trace images.
Very good, isn't it?
And watercolor them in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's basically embossed and perforated patterns.
So what sort of size are we talking about? I mean, it's as big as you like, I suppose.
Probably. What's half of A5?
A6.
Yeah, okay. A6 is the usual card size she makes, but sometimes she makes larger pieces. For example, the very last image we've got here will be. Oh no, there's another one. I love them, they're lovely. But the very last image we've got here is a piece that she made for me for my birthday.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and she framed it for me. It lives above my bed.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely adore it. I love the frame she's got for it as well. It's just...
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, Mummy made it for me.
And that's the thing, isn't it? That's part of it. It's the personal touch. It's not just something randomly produced, or not randomly, but commercially produced by a massive that 40,000 other people might have in their bedroom. This is a bespoke thing for you with love and all the time that's gone into making it, which is what makes it so worthwhile. You are?
Sorry, I'm being talked at.
Being talked at.
Mama, I'll call you later. Elijah's asking if he can join us for the very end.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, so what I was saying, it was absolutely awful that your mum would make such hideous things for you, and if only she sold them on to a commercial producer, I think is the words I was... No, I was saying how lovely it is that instead of being just that commercial product that you got from Clinton's cards or wherever... that this is something that your mother has made and put time and effort into, and nobody else has it.
No, and it's very unique. Even if someone else has used the same patterns, it's not the exact same as how she's done it, because it's not come from her hand. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see exactly what you mean.
Yes. who was it? Dave Evad says embossed and perforated. Yes, parts of it are embossed and other parts are perforated. Just little little holes.
Oh yeah.
Make the patterns and things.
Wait a minute. There's one. Hang on. Let's come back here. There's one that's got the.
That's the embossing around the edge there, and then if you see,
these have got perforations in, haven't they?
Yes, those are perforated. Those are the corners.
So that you can see that's embossed. That's over the card. And so with the same with the wings, and then the perforations are here where the little holes are, which presumably are showing a card underneath or something.
Yeah.
Very clever. Very clever.
She'll use different colours and like shiny cards and things like that underneath the main part of the card. But yeah. Anyways.
Sensible Paul says sorry, but the sink is in the kitchen. It's the basin that's in the bathroom. Mind you, he's spelt sink S-Y-N-C, so I don't know what he's talking about. I think he means S-I-N-K, but we won't be pedantic. Nigel Sadler says, I just had a notification that the Veg Grower podcast has just posted a new video during the Vobes shows. Yes, that's perfectly normal. And Sean Ford says, you've had your wisdom. Oh, I've read that out. I've had my norms. And I'm actually behind on wherever the thing is. Scrapper board, says Audrey Forbes Hamilton. Is that what it's called? Is it a unicorn unisex? Is a unicorn unisex, says Michael White. That's a good question.
Well, I suppose it depends upon who thought of this particular unicorn.
That's true. Robin Jones says, I did lino cutting and printing. Very nice when you get it right. I did some lino cutting when I was at school. I also used to do potato printing, which is a similar thing, only a little less intricate.
Yeah, a little less extravagant.
Yeah, but it's good fun, you know. You just like get a plus sign, and you could play noughts and crosses with potato printing, can't you? On a very big noughts and crosses board, as long as you pick up the right potato. And well, I suppose somebody's got noughts, and you anyway, whatever. I wonder if we should play a second video. Or, as Robin Jones has just been speaking, we're looking at pictures. Shall we go and have a look at his photo? He loves this photo. He's into insects and things and flowers and that sort of thing.
Entomology. And I don't know what the study of flowers is.
It's flower power. So...
Is it entomology? I think that's correct. Doubting myself again.
Yeah, etymology. I thought was the
looking at etymology. Entomology is the study of words, I think.
No, I think etymology is words, isn't it?
I don't know anymore.
No, I don't know. Anyway, we'll go in and we'll go to the art gallery and have a look at Robin's picture. So there we go. That was the art gallery, and I didn't hear the blooming music. I like that music. I didn't get to hear it. Something is dreadfully wrong. So, Robin... Yes. Yes, they heard the... Yes, and that because I accidentally fired that off accidentally. Right, Robin Jones. Here we go. He says, good morning, Richard. This macro photograph actually has 3 insects on it, taken at a time when this sort of subject obsessed me. Now, the question is, can you not only see them, but can you name them? So here we are. We have the picture here. I'll see if I can blow it up a bit. I can't get... If I blow it up, I lose half of that bottom insect.
Yeah, I'm not terrible. You know, I know a very few of the butterfly species, but I cannot guess what this one is.
Well, I've got... Oh, hello. I just heard myself out your speakers then. I've got a lovely Rupert Newham sent me the Observer Book of Butterflies. Or the Pocket Book of Butterflies. Or he just sent me a pocket full of butterflies. I can't remember which one it was. So whilst you're looking at that, I'm just going to go and see if I can quickly grab it.
Yeah, all I know is all I know that it is a butterfly. I don't know what type of butterfly. Usually you identify, well, for the indoctrinated, it's easier to identify the other side of the wings, isn't it? Where you've got the more prominent colour and pattern. Is that one of the reddy orange and black, like checkered ones, or what? I can't quite tell. A gatekeeper, Elfwald thinks it's called.
Is it?
Sean James Cameron says he thinks it's a moth. Kerry Baldwin also says gatekeeper. Nigel Sadler says peacock.
Okay, so here we have the Observer Book of Didgeridoos, Rolf Harris's own book. Gatekeeper.
Observer Book of Didgeridoos.
Oh, look, wait, Gatekeeper. Hang on a minute. The Observer Book of Didgeridoos. Now then, have a look at this. I have to go back over here to do that. Oh, hang on, I'll stop that. Is that little baby? Is that this?
Could be. It doesn't show what the underside of the wings look like. Yeah, that does. Yes, it does look very much like
it's got two dots in that black spot.
Yeah, and that's the same on the other side.
This one, where is there? That's got two dots in the black spot. It says here the gatekeeper is generally distributed throughout England and is very often plentiful in the southern county. I'm reading the screen rather than looking actually at the book because I'm holding the thing. Is in South Wales. In Scotland, except in certain localities in the south, it's not common. In Ireland, it is confined to the southern area. The butterfly is brownish orange, and the margins of the wings are fuchsious brown. There is a black spot towards the edge of the forewings, as a rule, 2 white dots. So there we are. I think that's it. How about that?
Nicely identified those who it did.
I think you said Nigel Sadler thought it was a gatekeeper, didn't you say that?
Yes, and so did Kerry Baldwin and Bonnie H. I'm not in that order either.
No. So what is the flower?
The flower is a teasel.
Teasel.
And so Chris F. also says it's a teasel.
Yeah, I got that. And do we know what the insects are? One's a fly and one looks like an ant of some description, or a flying ant. And the teasel, we learnt this from Ticknet Edwards, it holds in water.
I talked about this in one of the garden shows that we haven't done, the Julia's kitchen garden thing. Do you remember I was talking about it?
Yeah.
Was it an old Vobes? I can't remember, but I have talked about it before. It's carnivorous, isn't it?
Yeah. It's carnivorous, that's right. And so the creatures fall into the little tiny
between the stem and the offshoots. It has a like leafy kind of webbed sections, and rainwater, and I guess some of the sap from the plant itself probably goes in there. I don't know enough about it exactly.
And creatures fall in, they drown, and then over time they decompose, and then the plant absorbs the decomposed insect.
That's it.
And so it makes it a carnivorous thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever turn into the incredible shrinking man, avoid nipping up the side of teasels to have a drink of water, because you will come a cropper. And that is a factum totem polem. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Stephen Agger has been up. Nice pipe. To the summit of Snowdon. Should we go and have a watch of Stephen Abbott? Stephen Abbott? Who's Stephen Abbott? I don't think we have a Stephen Abbott. Stephen Agger has been up to the top of Snowdon. Let's go and have a look at that. Thank you, Stephen, for sending this in. Cheers. Oh. How about that? Didn't hear a thing on that one, but absolutely brilliant. I was thinking, actually, you were a bit out of breath climbing up there. I'm not surprised, mind you. That was quite a feat. I had this idea. You know, people get up there and you see that little thing. At first I thought, well, they should have a little horn. You know, you get to the top and you press the button, it goes, pop.
A little bell, ding, 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 ding.
Got to the top. And then I thought, no, what it should have is a little ticket. So they don't have to keep refilling this thing. Maybe it could be a printed ticket or something, although they'd have to put ink in it. But I thought a great big roll of tiny, like little tickets, but that you could get nowhere else. So it's like a little mini stamp-sized certificate. So you could have thousands in this thing. So whoever would have to replenish it wouldn't have to replenish it very much. But a little mechanical machine that would outstand all weather. So when you get to the top, you can take, you know, you press a button and you get a ticket which proves that you've been up. And you put your 50p in, or a pound, or a £2 coin, or a fiver, or whatever it is. And you get that thing to say, look, I got to the top of Mount Snowdon.
Bonnie H says it reminds her of walking the Great Wall of China. She says, I said I'd love to do that one day. And she says we were also doing conservation work, carrying bricks up. That's amazing.
What, at the Great Wall of China?
Yes.
Blimey.
Yeah, well, I'm imagining a monument like that needs repair almost all the time.
Yeah. Now, talking to Bonnie, she sent in we've got just before we come to the end of the show, Mark Burgess and Bonnie have sent in some things. Now, I haven't had a chance, knowing my luck, none of this is going to work, but she's just sent in for a laugh some seagulls dancing. But I'm just, in order to do this, I'm just going to show this on the email thing this way, because it's going to be the easiest way to show it.
I saw this on the Facebook group. I love it.
Okay.
I've seen seagulls do this. These are herring gulls, aren't they? Yes, because of the red dot on the side of the beak there.
Right. So we're just waiting for them.
They do this. I know Bonnie reiterated it in the Facebook post, but they do this to encourage the worms up, because they think it's pitter-patter of rain.
Ah, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't realise that. Oh, that is interesting. Oh, thank you very much, Bonnie, for sending that in. Now I can't close that down.
By the way, Michael White said that last video reminded him of the song Stairway to Heaven. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Yeah, it looked like it as well with all the mist. Lovely.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much, Stephen, for sending that in. Great to see that. He said he'd done that some time ago. I can't remember now. 2016, I think he'd said. But lovely to go clambering up there. It's something I'd like to do at some point.
All the people, because that wasn't definitely wasn't during the pandemic, was it? With all those people.
No, the safest place
to go. No masks.
And no masks at all. Air clay modelling. Air clay. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I think that's where it sets when you just leave it to open to the air.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to having to kiln set it.
Right. Oh, I've got you. Air clay modelling. My sister has worked on, and it's a big close-up of it, and it's coming now. So I'm not quite sure. These are little pieces, presumably, of patterns and flowers and things. What, Mark? If you're out there, is Mark out there? What do you use it for? What does she do? What does she do with it? Are they ornamental to something else? It looks like that's on one of those little coffee table mats. But one looks like a boat. One looks like a little flower with peas in it or something. And you know, they sort of look like ancient things that you might find in an archaeologist's dig. That's a compliment, by the way, not an insult. He says, not very good at art myself. Elijah is in. Hello, Elijah.
Hello.
Eli in the house.
Eli in the house. How are you doing, Elijah?
Good.
You're doing good. Now you're back at school, aren't you?
What?
You're back at school.
Yeah.
After months and months and months off. I mean, you probably can't remember the last time before going to school. What's it like now? Is it different?
Yeah, it is different.
In what way?
Like we have to stay in, like the year bubbles.
So you're kept separate from other year groups.
Yeah.
We have different entrances and one-way routes around the playground
Yeah.
to give us as minimal interaction with other year group parents and things.
And do you have to wear any masks?
Not really.
No, because they're
Not
not in
re-
secondary school.
No.
It's compulsory, I think, in secondary school,
Mm.
but in the lower year groups, it's not compulsory. They can wear them if they wish to.
Is there kids in your class that wear them?
Only Dylan.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes.
And sometimes, brilliant. And what about the teachers? The teachers wear them?
They wear them in the corridors, but in the class it's fine.
Right. And what sort of subjects are you learning about at the moment in school?
To be honest, I can't remember.
No, a bit dull and boring, I imagine. What's your favourite lesson?
And this week, my most favourite lesson was computing.
Computing. What do you do on the
Your own game.
Right, okay. I can see that being exciting. Are you doing anything in history?
No, we are doing a topic lesson on. Hang on.
Let me give you the brain cell. Helping? No?
Something about helping save the world, like helping with trees. I can't really remember much.
Oh, okay. So do you do things on the Vikings?
No, we're doing stuff on helping the planet, like pollution and.
In history lesson?
No, not
Right.
history.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
I asked about history. I was just.
History.
Yeah.
Are you
You
doing
don't
it?
know about
Do you do any
Because you
history,
don't have
kings and queens, and
What?
do you
Never
do?
mind.
Never mind. Do you like mathematics?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
You're good at maths, though. You're really good
Yeah.
at it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You and Daddy have mathematics games.
If a train was travelling at 452 miles an hour with 786 passengers and it had to stop 8 times and 4 passengers got out, but one got out whilst the train was moving and the other pretended to get out but then climbed back in, and one fell under the gooseberry bush, how many people were eating sandwiches? That's the sort of questions that we used to get asked at school. The most ridiculous situation ever. So there we go. So how many more? 85 is the right answer. How many more people? How many more years have you got at your current school?
I've got this year and next year.
Right, and then you'll be going to big school, I suppose.
Secondary. Yeah.
Secondary school. Gosh.
That can't be possible. No, get back small again.
How old are you now, Elijah?
I'm 10.
10.
Goodness.
Double figures. Blimey. And what do you think of little Joe?
He's nice. Don't worry.
He's nice.
He's
You
nice.
love him. Oh, you're going to go. I think he's going to go fetch him.
Oh, okay. Richard, you don't know the answer, so stop, says John Clark. I don't know the answer, no. He's too big for his mother's knee. Absolutely. Dave is saying, does he do quantum physics?
I don't know if they've approached that subject yet.
I think they should definitely be doing that. They should be splitting the atom by now.
He's more likely to be talking about his dad, talking about that with his dad and myself, to be honest.
Oh, right.
I don't know much about quantum mechanics, but it does fascinate me. I do try to take it in.
Station Master's Choice wants to know, did the train stop at Camborne on Wednesdays? Or Camborne Wednesdays, is that the name of the station?
Hi.
And this is Joe. Hello, Joe.
You say hi. Say hello to the camera. You gonna wave at the camera? There's the camera, look. Say hi.
Hello.
Getting more bubbles.
Don't get it, do you, Bubba? There's too many screens to look at, isn't there?
There's too many
things
screens.
to grab.
I'll be back in a moment with more bubbles.
You'll be back in a moment with more bubbles, apparently. But Joe, how's your day been?
Bonnie 8 says, my son did quantum physics with Stephen Hawkins.
Wow, that's amazing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. See, I'd love to be a nerd. I'd love to be, to be able to read things and keep all this information exactly in my head. But I have this tendency is I'll learn stuff and my brain will automatically compress it down and store it away. So I get the general feeling and the general understanding, but I can't pinpoint a lot of the detail,
I sort of got when I first read it, because sometimes words jump about with me. At first I thought it said I did PE with Stephen Hawkins. So I thought that might be a bit awkward. Elaine Whitelock says, hello, Joe. Red Moon says, I work in year 5 and we're doing fair trade and we've just finished a topic on the USA.
Ah, that might be what Elijah was trying to say.
Saving the world, fair trade products and things like that.
Yeah. Doing fair oh, careful, you're spilling like I did. Are you doing fair trade at school?
What's that?
Never mind.
No, obviously not. So what about watch out, you might get purple. Jeff Harrison says, if the electric train is doing 200 miles an hour and it goes through a tunnel, which way does the smoke go? That's a good question. An electric train, I suppose it depends how much smoke is generated on the rails from the friction between the two sets of metal.
I suppose it depends also on which end the fire is.
Yeah. Which end is the fire? Is the electric sparked or something? Because clearly it can't be a steam train. Bonnie says, my son went to Cambridge, but my dad couldn't even read. So that's a shame. Her son went to Cambridge and then her dad couldn't read the letters home. Although I always put lettuce on a plate with the rest of the salad, but let's not worry about that. Leo Baccharis, I don't know if I said that right, says April Fool's Day.
It's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, which ends on fire. With an electric train, Nigel Sadler. Yeah, we've done all those jokes.
By the way, everybody.
Yeah.
This is another Mary Hammond special jumper.
Oh, look at that.
Now she makes them out of the... there goes my stone. She makes them out of the odds and ends from making other jumpers and stuff. And Carrie said, oh, you're such a fidget.
So there we go. That's we've now got sensible pictures back again, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there's anything sensible in this show. But whilst we're on the subject, and we're not really, but here we are, I'd just like to show you the large heath butterfly, which I've been studying for at least 20 seconds. Not even that. Actually, I've just lost the blooming page, so I can't tell you that. I'm going to tell you about the small pearled bordered fritillary as part of the... There he is, look. Is part of some fritillary. Nice, isn't it? That's the Observer. Is this the Observer? The Observer's Book of Butterflies, at which you can observe on a desk near you. Julia's disappeared. She's just strangling the children, which is always handy, especially at bedtime. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come swiftly on time for a change on a Friday night. I hope you've enjoyed this madcap, slightly dishevelled show in which not everything has worked according to plan. But I would like to say thanks to Bernie for sending in his marvellous video of Morning on the Marshes in the video, and Stephen Agger for climbing up the summit of Snowdon just for us. That was very kind of you. And for Robin Jones for his 3 insects. Also to Bonnie and her dancing policemen. Not policemen. What were they? Penguins? No, seagulls. And to Mark Burgess for the artwork from, I've just learnt something now, air drying, was it? I can't remember what the term was now. Air clay modelling. Air clay, because I kind of felt like it was like air soft clay shoot. Oh no, it can't possibly be that. Anyway, there we are. Kerry says, small pearl bordered fritillary only found near Hailsham in the southeast. My goodness. Josephine Suter says, Elijah, come back. And Robert Brailsford says something to Station Master's Choice. And Jeffrey Harrison says, Richard, it has been brilliant. Thank you very much. I hope we have kept you entertained. Thank you for all your hard work in typing. Thanks to Nigel Sadler for assisting with the sound, and to Sean James Cameron for ringing in and telling us about getting us on the phone subject. That was great. Julie Bow says, brilliant show tonight. Just goes to show that what you need in a show is absolute chaos. And here she is. It's lovely to see the lovely Julia. I don't think she heard that, but that's lucky. She's looking.
I did.
Oh, did she? Well, you should have been at cross with me.
I give up.
I'm not at all.
Sometimes it's just not worth fighting.
No, that's right. Go with the flow.
Pick your battles.
Pick your battles. The ones that you can win.
I have kids. I know how to do this.
Yeah, that's true.
Mostly.
Thank you very much for holding fort, Julia. You've been an absolute star. As of next week, she will be doing the Wednesday show solo. I'm going to be putting my feet up. So that will be the Julia show. And actually, the way this is going is that I can just slowly edge myself off so that actually...
so that you can leave me just to flounder and go, oh my God, what am I doing? And panic.
I don't know what you mean.
Stroke red rum, who my grandmother was going to take me to see. Yay! He died. And then he died just before he died. Dang it.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's very inconsiderate of him.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all that running. You should never let horses run, because that's what happens to them. They snuff it in the end.
I still have to go and see the sorry, scratch my nose there. I still have to go and see his memorial and his gravesite, basically, because my grandmother's ashes are actually scattered there.
Are they?
With permission.
Oh, right. Didn't just turn up.
No.
Brilliant show tonight. The Vobes show is a force to be reckoned with. I now frightened to update Windows, says Bonnie. Yes, absolutely. Don't I mean, everything goes. Just don't do it. I mean, it's been. I guess they might send out a patch or something to say, "I'm ever so sorry, we've buggered your machines." Thanks for that message, by the way, Station Master's Choice. Daniel Watkins says, "Night all. Thanks for the show. Lovely to see you both, and see you on next week." And Mark Poetry says, late dinner there. Yes, late dinner. You should have the house to yourself soon, says Sean James Cameron. Well, my son is picking up the keys on the 25th, apparently. But then he told me he's still going to be here for 2 weeks because they want to do stuff to the house. So still can't get rid of him. What is it with these loose children? You just can't get shot of them. But never mind.
What? I think for you, it's just been made so much harder to cope with just because of the this pandemic and all the lockdowns and all the stress that it entails. I can understand that. We've had similar feelings in this household. Yes,
is the answer. Yes, you've had similar things. I've had similar things. It's been... Let's hope we're out of it. Let's just hope we're out of it now, because I think a lot of stuff has been said and a lot of people have taken different sides of the argument on a number of things, and nobody seems to want to budge on their side. And I'm one of them that sees things different to a lot of other people, and people don't necessarily like it. But we all see things from our own disadvantages, from our own vantages. And, it's something like this that in some ways should bring us all together, but actually in many ways it's torn many friendships apart, and it's a horrible thing. So I'm hoping that we do get out of it this year, and certainly this half of this year, so that we can all go around and hug each other again and actually be nice. But you never know. Anyway, Robert Brailsford's 25th of December. Yeah, that'll be when we're out of it. I don't know what year, though. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks to the lovely Julia, and I've thanked everybody else. So you can...
Thanks to the lovely Richard for putting it all together.
Yeah, thanks to Microsoft for buggering it up. We will see you again next week. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. And that's it. Take care. Nice to see you. Thanks, Julia. Look after yourself.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Good night, Eric.
Good night, Sam.
I thought he was never going to say anything.
I love a bit of everything, please. Sorry, what was that, Eric? I love a little bit of everything, please. I think he's got a mask on.
Yeah, I think he has. He's gone shopping, that's why. Take care, and bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.